Hey, this is Brian from Piki Geek, and I'm here with Robin Arnott, who is the developer of Deep Sea, a crazy auditory game art piece that uses a gas mask and headphones to give the impression of being on the bottom of the sea. So, Robin, what was your inspiration for the project?
There are. Oh wow, that's a question I haven't been asked for a while. Um, a few things actually. I mean, one thing that really comes to mind is Ian Bogo's Guru Meditation, which is a game that. Have you played it?
I've not played this.
It's on the iPhone. It's a game where you just have to stay really still and really quiet, and that's the game. If you succeed at being really still and really quiet, you don't exactly win and you don't exactly progress, but you're just doing it right. So it was that. There's also games like Deep Sea, or excuse me, this is Deep Sea. Um, I inspired myself. No, and there's also games like Dead Space that just use um, use fear to really bring you in somewhere. I played Dead Space in 3 sittings, and I really wanted to generate as immersive an experience as I could. And the game industry is full of such wonderful inspiration for creating immersive experiences that um, it can't stop at 1 or 2 games. It's really the whole horror genre, and a few out there projects like Guru Meditation.
Awesome. Okay. Uh, Another question I had was, so the bottom of the sea.
Yeah.
We know that's a terrifying place to that humans are not meant to go. When you were creating these monsters or the things
Yeah.
that are on the bottom of the sea, uh, what was your idea behind that?
Sure. Professionally, I'm a sound designer, so I had a lot of ideas for process of how to make them. They just needed to sound big and scary, and in terms of sound design, they had to pierce through the dense rumble and everything else. What sounds big and scary? You know, there's whale song. Pretty much anything when you're underwater to hear something and for it to be loud. That's scary, unless if it's alien enough. So, it was a really experimental process to find those creatures. Some of it was me putting a microphone underwater and making noise with it. Some of it was various instruments that just make clicky noises, things like that. A lot of it was putting a contact microphone against my throat and manipulating that sound. But it needed to sound really alien and big, and that was the imperative.
Awesome. Okay. So, person steps up to your booth and they see that you've got this blacked out face mask. You sit them down in a seat. What do you want them to take away from your game experience?
I'd like them to take away excitement for the coming years in the game industry, more than anything, because this isn't commercial. This is not going to be available at Walmart or anywhere,
right,
for that matter, unless you want to give me $10,000 on my Kickstarter for my next project. It's. I would love people to take away, because people do walk away feeling anywhere from really authentically scared to amazed to. There's a whole spectrum of emotions people walk away with, but this is all in the future. You know, there's some really exciting things happening in the game industry. We're moving away from the paradigm of running around with a gun, and we're moving towards some more subversive ideas. And if people walk away, it's not just my game, it's with Indiegate. If people walk away from this Indiegate booth with anything, it should be excitement for the future and a joy to see what's coming next that we're not seeing now.
Excellent. All right, one final question.
Sure.
So when you created this game, I'm certain you had some kind of practical idea for how this might be applied to, well, maybe commercial gaming or a larger project. How could you see your sort of oral experience being put into like a commercial game like Dead Space or something like that?
Yeah, sure. I think the most important thing that this game is getting at that could be applied commercially is the biofeedback. And we're already seeing biofeedback explored some places, but I've never seen breathing used as a mechanism in a game, unless very indirectly. This game is it takes your breathing and it makes your breathing play into the game and make it very difficult to play the game if you're breathing too much. But where you use a controller, you're looking at a screen, you're aware that maybe you've got some not very good speakers or something. There are so many elements that get in the way of a totally immersive game experience, and it's only by suspending your disbelief that you allow yourself to have a good time. But you can use biofeedback to kind of tap in here and make someone's heart beat, to really take control of them in a physical way. I forget your question exactly.
Well, no, that answered it perfectly.
Right.
It's that even by taking away the visual,
Yeah.
and the
Leaves a lot of
audio
room.
feels much more real.
Yeah.
And when playing the game and you breathe, you take away your ability to hear the monsters around you, and that's a terrifying thing because you can't breathe. You actually have to hold your breath in order to play the game correctly. I mean, to really hear what's going on. And it's a terrifying experience, but it's a great game. I enjoyed it terribly, and I thank you for giving us your time to interview.
Yeah.
This has been Pride with PikiGeek.com.